Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. Applications are open for funding from the Creative Communities scheme. Demand for food parcels from the Salvation Army is growing, and Father's Day is the theme for Sunday's Steamers North Harbour ITM Cup clash at the International Stadium. But first, Rotorua MP and National Party candidate Todd McClay outlined his vision to the local business community at this week's Chamber of Commerce election debate. He told the gathering he wanted 3 more years to continue his job of representing the district in Wellington.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've made good progress, but there's more to do. We need to keep investing in education and training our young people to give them the skills and the trades of the future so they can meet the requirements of businesses as they create jobs in Rotorua. We need to invest in infrastructure in the Bay of Plenty and in Rotorua. We're 50 or 60 kilometres away from Tauranga and New Zealand's busiest port. The government's investing $450 million in a new road from Paengaroa through to the port of Tauranga. It will reduce journey times from Rotorua to that port on average by 22 minutes return. Rotorua has the opportunity to create an inland port to service the port of Tauranga. Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand here asking for your support to continue to work hard and continue to deliver for Rotorua. We have achieved a lot over the last 3 years. We have a lot more to do. I ask for your support and your vote so I can continue to work hard for you. Thank you.
Rotorua arts groups and individuals are being encouraged to apply to funding for their creative projects through Rotorua District Council's Creative Communities scheme. The scheme is a partnership between Creative New Zealand and the Council and has a total of $28,000 available for grants. The Council's Creative Communities Portfolio Lead, Councillor Glenys Sarank, says the funding is available for applications that meet one or more of the scheme's 3 criteria: broad community involvement, diversity and young people. Application forms are available at the Council Customer Service Centre, Rotorua Library and online at rdc.govt.nz. The Salvation Army has reported an increase in demand for food parcels and social services over the winter months and is calling on locals to help replenish stocks. Captain Brian Martin says the Sallies are always overwhelmed at locals' generosity and is confident the cupboards will overflow during spring in the lead up to Christmas.
Just for example, last year we gave, in the month of August, we gave out about $7,000 or $8,000 worth of food. This August we gave out $16,000 worth of food. So over the 12-month period we've had a huge increase, 60% increase. And so you look at the shelves, they look as if they've got lots on them, but 1 week this will be gone.
Oh, so supply and demand is quite high, isn't it?
At the moment it's extremely high. Winter months. Winter months,
absolutely. Yes. And then you got to go on there till Christmas.
Yes, yep. Christmas is our big time of the year because we have our packages we give out to families, Christmas hampers and that kind of thing. And so we have to start collecting quite early in the year to actually get the quantity we need.
And then Christmas is an expensive time for the families, and so it will go on to the new year as well, won't it?
Absolutely, it goes on. Fortunately, Rotorua is a very generous community, and so we've had such huge support over the last number of years at Christmas time, and so it has actually achieved us being able to help people right through to January, February, March, after the Christmas period. And so that we really do appreciate that from the community.
Focus group Raising the Bar is holding an event next week which aims to celebrate local success stories. Organisers say the event is about building a bigger picture of Rotorua. For more information on Raising the Bar Success Through Service event, contact the Chamber of Commerce. In sport tonight, the horror start to the ITM Cup competition for Bay of Plenty Steamers continues when they fell to their 4th consecutive defeat in Palmerston North last night. A late surge by the Bay wasn't enough with a close loss of 29-27 to Manawatu. The win puts Manawatu at the top of the ITM Cup table. The Steamers have another 3-day turnaround before they take on fellow strugglers North Harbour at the International Stadium on Sunday afternoon. Rugby Union Operations Manager Neil Elton says the Rotorua game will be in honour of Father's Day with special activities and entertainment. Kick-off is at 4:35 p.m. on on Sunday afternoon. I bet the steamer's fortune can change with local support. To your weather update now. Tonight looks like rain with northeasterlies and an overnight low of 10. Tomorrow, Friday, periods of rain, northeasterlies, a high of 15 and a low of 9. And looking out to Saturday, showers clearing, southerlies developing, a high of 16 and a low of 7. The marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Friday, northeast 10 knots tending easterly early in the morning, becoming northerly 10 knots around midday and then tending northeast in the afternoon with waves less than half a metre, and there will be poor visibility in rain. Still to come in tonight's program, we find out about Ngāti Whakaue Whakanuia taking place this weekend. We're at the opening of the Kia Puawai pilot for Western Heights and talk about Tamariki Ora. And we have Labour candidate Tamari Coffey's presentation at the Chamber of Commerce election debate.
So we've just managed to nab Anna Morrison, who's going to talk about the Ngāti Whakaue, is it Whakanuia Festival?
Yes, it is.
Correct. Can you let us know what is the Whakanuia Festival about?
So the Whakanuia is a celebration weekend for Ngāti Whakaue, and it's a 2-day event, 3 events over 2 days. So the first event is a Ngāti Whakaue Future Makers Day, and that's targeted at rangatahi and so students and youth. And it's actually an education symposium, so we're grabbing Ngāti Whakaue people who are leaders in their own sort of sectors or at the top of their game across New Zealand, and they've actually agreed to come and run panel sessions, and so there'll be about 20 of those Ngāti Whakaue leaders available for students to mix and mingle with, and actually just to hear their story on how they got to be where they are, and some lessons and some tips about if students want to learn about that sort of industry, on how to go about it. And so in the evening, on the Friday evening, there's a Ngāti Whakaue alumni dinner, and that's a recognition dinner, and that's really a chance for Ngāti Whakaue to acknowledge and celebrate the great successes of some of our people. So we're going to be acknowledging and recognising those people who have given their life service to the marae, as well as people with PhDs, so service to academia. Third group of people that we're going to be acknowledging are those with Queen's Honours who have given service to the community and also the nation. And then to top it off, on the Saturday is going to be a whole day of kapahaka, and so there's going to be 9 marae participating, and there's probably we estimate about 450 to 500 people standing over the course of the day, and that's really an attempt for us to whakawhanaungatanga and to bring our marae back together, and also to bring people back to the marae. It's also an opportunity for whānau to participate, so it's for babies and the parents and the koeke, the elders, and so it's just really an exciting, positive day where we're wanting people to really just be excited and participate in Ngāti Whakaue things, so learning the reo, learning the waiata, so we can better support our marae.
So it sounds to me as if you're bringing back all the positive influences that Ngāti Whakaue has, and then providing a positive example for the rangatahi who are coming up and wanting to aspire to be in those positions.
Yeah, correct. So the principles that are really the founding principles of the Whakanuia weekend is reconnecting and restoration of whakapapa and whanaungatanga, and that's across all across the generations. So it's going to be an event where we hope will continue the momentum of positive transformation for whānau, and really just for us to celebrate being Ngāti Whakaue and the positive things about your taha Māori.
And celebrating the success of the hapu and the iwis.
Correct, yeah. And not often do we celebrate openly people's contributions to the marae, and that's something that was really important for us.
Yeah, well that sounds brilliant actually. I'm going to come along because funnily enough I do have Ngāti Whakaue in my lines along the way. So
we look forward to seeing you. It'd be wonderful to see you there.
Yeah. So just quickly, what day is it and whereabouts is it going to be taking place?
The Kapahaka Day is the open event for the whole community and anyone really who wants to come down and see. It's going to be at Ohenemutu at Te Papaoru Marae, and it's going to run from about 8:30 in the morning to about 4:30 in the afternoon. So there's going to be kai stalls, merchandise stalls, as well as lots of kapahaka and actually, they will also have music entertainment at lunchtime. So just a whole wonderful day, great day for the family, great day out for people who may not be Ngāti Whakaue or wider community members to come down and just participate. So look forward to seeing you.
There you go. Anna has just given the wider community a big
Nau mai hara mai.
Nau mai hara mai to the Ngāti Whakaue
Whakanuia this Saturday.
It's a little drizzly out here, but we're going to pop down to the new Tipawora Tamaiku Ora Service Centre. So Owen, you're co-owner of this particular building that the Tamariki Centre is residing in, but not only that, you also co-own a few of the buildings around the Western Heights Shopping Centre, and you've also been a pharmacy for 30 plus years, which is the Western Heights Pharmacy just down the road there, haven't you?
Correct, yes.
So you really have seen this part of town evolve over time?
Very much so. I've, as I say, been out here, in fact, 34 years today. I took over the Western Heights Pharmacy, so 34 years in the Western Heights Shopping Centre. Although I don't own the pharmacy now, it's other members of the family own it, my daughter and son-in-law, but I do work for them.
So because you've got so much background in the community, what does it mean to have something like Tamariki Ora Clinic reside in one of your buildings?
I think it's great. This building, when we first got it and turned it in, it was used for health things to start with, and then for the last probably 4 or 5 years it's been used as a community house, and the DHB gave us funding towards some of the things that were happening there, plus other money had been raised by the Community Association as well, and so there's been a number of different things using the building as a base. And to have Tipawora now come in is really great, because it's very much community orientated, and there's a lot of people in this community who are hurting, and we'll get help from here. So yeah. So
it's really adding to the collective health professions, isn't it? Because there's quite a few here.
Absolutely. They'll also be involved probably in the health centre there. I think they've got somebody that's going to be working out of there as well. And so it's great to have them here, and it's something that we've been working on. It's been worked on for a while, and it's really good to have them here. So.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having a chat with us.
That's great.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yes. Thank you.
Alistair, you've had the Tamariki Ora Clinic move in just next door. How would that work in unison with the health centre?
So we're going to refer to midwives, and also if they have children who they're worried about, they can send them across to see us without appointments, and we can look after them. And also if we have kids that we're worried about, they'll help us support them in the community so they feel like coming in to see us.
Is it important to have an establishment that actually focuses on the tamariki here in the community?
Very important. We have lots of kids who have lots of difficulties in their lives, so it's really nice to be able to support them. And it's also that childhood's such an important part of growing up that we really want to support it.
And so they'll definitely be helping, because I'd imagine before they come in that this will be an aspect of work that you would have to touch on as well. So,
yep, we all did it, but it's just nice having extra help for the kids who are most at risk.
Okay. Well, it's good to see that the community are coming together and working in unison, which is great.
That's great.
Thank you, Alistair.
You're welcome.
Raywin, why is it important to have a centre like the Tamariki Centre in the Western Heights community?
For quite some time now, many people in the community, ourselves, Lakes DHB, general practice like Dr. Alistair McLean, have recognised the need to take services to the people, and this clinic is very much about taking services to where people are actually living and going into the community where they are. The service is also about integration and integrating a wide number of services, not just health services. Because when a family is in need, they quite often need a range of services, from health to social, sometimes to justice, sometimes to policing, sometimes to people like the Justice of the Peace, in order to bring all the little components in their life together.
And when did this start? Like, when did the nuts and bolts of this get put together to the finished product that it is today?
For quite some time now, probably 3 or 4 years, Tipawora has had a dream that this kind of project would be possible here in Rotorua. It's all very well to have the dream. You've then got to go and find the person who's going to fund it, who's going to walk the journey with you, walk the path with you. Probably the last 9 months we have been working with Lakes DHB as well as with Dr. Alistair McLean and the Western Heights Health Centre here to bring this together as it is today, with a whole number of services from his general practice to our midwifery to our well child and social services and a range of other support services included.
What is the main service that the Tamariki Centre will be providing for the youth?
The main service is going to be midwifery, focusing on the pregnant mama and the services that she requires from a midwife, the GP support, and then once the baby is born, the Well Child Tamariki Ora program, health promotion, social services if they need, as well as oral health services.
And you're working in unison, of course, with Dr. McLean.
We're working in unison with quite a number of people, including Dr. McLean, including Plunkett, including local community policing when we need to, for some of the positive programs that they run, as well as other services inside our existing organisation.
Let me just say that Tipperwater has done already a wonderful job within the community, especially with health and oral and everything else working with families. So it's absolute pleasure to be here with you today, and thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here today supporting a model of integration like this in the community. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Just like Todd's gone and said, I do want to work together as well. That's absolutely what I want to do. So bear this in mind when you go to cast your vote this year. Fletcher, number 4 on the New Zealand First list. Todd, number 23 on the National Party list. Both of them are going to government and none of you need to vote for them to be able to get in. They will get in anyway. You need to give me your electorate vote, make me your electorate party, your electorate MP, and you will have 3 people representing you right here in Rotorua. What's best for Rotorua is best for everyone. Bear that in mind. All right, I want to talk to you today as leaders about Labour's plans to build a better New Zealand. It starts with the economy, because without a strong economy we cannot build a fair society. To get there we need an economic plan, and that takes vision and it takes leadership. It's much more than simply doing a good job of just minding the shop. Getting the fiscals right year on year is important, and it's something that Labour has a proud record of. We delivered 9 surpluses in our last 9 years in government. We reduced the government debt to 0. We drove savings with New Zealand Super and with KiwiSaver, and we negotiated the free trade deal with China that's currently keeping New Zealand afloat. We also took the hard political call to reject tax cuts that would have risked overheating an already hot economy, and instead paid down debt and got New Zealand into a position where it could weather the global financial crisis. We have shown strong management and we'll do it again. We'll pay off National's record debt by the end of our second term. Treasury has our current debt at nearly $86 billion. That's $134 a second. That's another 134 and another 134. And for the next 3 minutes that I'm talking, keep thinking about that going up and up and up. At the same time, we'll build up public assets, we'll restart contributions to the Cullen Fund to secure the future of New Zealand Super, we'll invest in Kiwi Build so that our families have warm, healthy, affordable houses to live in. The pre-election economic and fiscal update has shown that the economy isn't doing as well as expected, which is why we ensured that there was headroom in our budget to cope with the reduced forecasts, and why we've had to trim very little off our policy platform to ensure that we continue to stay in surplus and pay down debt. But fiscal management alone doesn't ensure the kind of long-term growth and success that New Zealand should have and will need if we want to maintain and grow a vital and prosperous nation. We need to look past the milk sales and insurance checks that are propping up our economy and deciding what we can do to upgrade the economy so that when the checks stop and the commodity prices come back down, that we have options. Simply patting ourselves on the back when commodity prices go up and tightening our belts when they drop is not an economic strategy. We need a government that's willing to back Kiwi businesses to create secure, well-paid jobs by innovating and by adding value. That's why we've announced a series of economic upgrades based on 3 main principles. It's quite easy: investment, innovation, and industry.
We'll make KiwiSaver universal. We'll restore payments to the New Zealand Super Fund, and we'll introduce a capital gains tax to dissuade investors from speculating in the housing market and encourage them to put more money into the productive exporting side of the economy. And then there's our monetary policy economic upgrade, which reduces interest rates and eases the overvalued currency. This will make our exports more competitive overseas and boost businesses back here at home. But perhaps the most innovative part of this package is our variable savings rate. The idea that the rate on a universalised KiwiSaver will be able to be adjusted to decrease or to increase direct spending into the economy. Innovation. When it comes to this, we want new investment to drive our innovation. We are a nation of innovators. It's part of our culture. But in commercial terms, New Zealand's investment in R&D is well below par in global terms, and in private R&D, we're particularly weak, which is why we need to turn our numbers around and fast. Which is why we'll restart New Zealand's stalled innovation story by renewing R&D tax credits, by increasing Crown investment in R&D, and encouraging our research and teaching institutions to partner with industry. This means structured investment into Rotorua-based entities like Scion will only help to grow Rotorua's R&D sector. When it comes to industry, know that investment and innovation are the essential frameworks for supporting business and growth and leading the economic upgrade. But government should also back positive Kiwi businesses and not leave them to the wolves of international trade. Labour will do that. We want good jobs in each region of New Zealand. This also means attracting industry to New Zealand regions that need it most. Our economic upgrades include tax incentives to guide investment into plant and machinery. We're doing this because we want to see an increase in innovative, value-added exports. In manufacturing in particular, we're seeing opportunities disappear with every company that shuts its doors sending skilled workers into joblessness, like Tachikawa Sawmill, or emigration, like most of my family. That's because our manufacturing exports are going out to an international market that's rigged in favour of competitors who are backed by their own governments and not having the goods priced up by a high dollar. And what's that going to mean for Rotorua? Jobs. Indeed, it speaks of the immense resilience and innovation of our exporting community that so many are still managing to carve out a living in such hostile conditions. Labour believes that we can do better, which is why we've announced more than just investment incentives. We've also announced a procurement policy that will help build a domestic market for our manufacturers and that will provide a base and a buffer for their export operations. New Zealanders have a couple of fundamental values. We work hard and we like to look after each other. These are the values that have made New Zealand great, and they're the values that will be at the heart of Labour and government. We should aim to be a prosperous and fair nation, and we should get there focused on working with each other. To get ahead, we need to realise that we're all in this together: government, business, employers, and workers. Labour has a vision for high-value, sustainable future with better jobs and higher wages. We'll make a positive difference by upgrading our economy and using it to provide the decent society that New Zealand and New Zealanders deserve. That includes doing right by the people of New Zealand, and when Labour get in, we'll help clean up the political system too. Thank you.
That was Labour candidate Tamati Coffey speaking at the Chamber of Commerce election debate. Tomorrow night, join us as we find out more from ACT candidate Lyle Russell. If you have any news or an event that TV Rotorua can support, you can call the station on 07 3488 984 or email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. From all the team at City News, Paul Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.